In the town of Fallsburg, voters will see one name on the ballot for the town supervisor, Democrat and longtime council member Nate Steingart. But there also is a writing campaign underway. Brett Budde, a Fallsburg farmer and community member, launched his own run for supervisor, and he's here to tell us why. So, welcome to the program, Brett.
I'm running for town supervisor because I'm extremely worried about overdevelopment in the Catskills and in Fallsburg. I'm worried about our infrastructure. We have crumbling water mains. Many of you might have noticed the water restriction use warnings that have been coming out over the last year and a half. Some of you will be without water on this coming Wednesday because of a broken water main. So that's a big concern of mine. I also have a concern that in the summertime, fire hydrants only have 15 minutes of water. And I'm concerned about our residents needing fire suppression and our first responders not being able to get to water when they need it. And, that's an extremely dangerous situation. Also, another concern I have is a problem with first responders getting to calls when it's busy out here, and it's sorry, it's a this is a well documented problem. It's been in the press. It's also been brought up at town board meetings, and so that's a huge concern I have also.
Right. So those are some of the reasons why you decided to do a writing campaign.
Honestly, I was planning on running for election next year, and I had a meeting where I met with Nate, and another one of my concerns is the developments in Recreation One. I own a farm, and as many of you know, last year, one of my wells went dry during the summertime, and it happened to be a drought, but my well recovered after Labor Day, and the drought continued on almost into December. And that sort of raised my ears to the idea that once you're outside of the main aquifer, which lines the Neversink River pretty much, there's not as much water as we might think out there. And so I've found out that there's a development just down the road from me, Church and Majestic, 159 units of trailer parks going in or in planning in there. And then just by driving around, I've spoken to two surveying crews within a half a mile of my place. And there's another place where there could be over 200 trailer parks put in right at the end of my road. And then just 3/4 of a mile down Church Road in the other direction, there's another possible 200 units going in. So when I think about that, and these are not on town water, these are in Recreation One, I'm really worried about myself and my neighbors running out of water when you have 600 units within a half a mile. And the reason I know about these is because I live in this small area, and the recreation zone happens to be the largest zone in Sullivan County. In Fallsburg. The recreation zone happens to be the largest zone in Fallsburg. And so I just imagining these circles of half miles with all these developments coming in. And after talking to Nate, it didn't seem like he was prepared to do anything about it. And in fact, back in 2007, Nate Steingart, Steve Bigliani, voted in the loophole that allows this development to happen. And so I'm sitting there thinking to myself, man, if I wait a year, all of these developments will be in front of the planning board. And there's no way that we have the kind of citizen group that could combat, 50 or 60 developments with 200 trailer parks or mobile homes in them. And, that's a lot of package plants. And package plants are basically sewage treatment plants that are out in the country. And when they're overloaded, they leak effluent into our streams and groundwater. And so these are huge concerns for me. And I think if I could have, I would have waited, but I didn't think that was possible.
Right. Now, since you are launching a writing campaign, is not only you launching a writing campaign. If you want to introduce the guests you have with you, other writing candidates who want to be on the town board.
Yeah, we have a fantastic team. There's 3 of us, and it's important that all 3 of us get on the board, because if we have 3 people on the board, we can change that zoning law in Recreation 1. So we have Dara Manzi running for town council and Josh Druckman running for town council. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm Dara Manzi. I'm a native to the town of Fallsburg. My family has been living in the town of Fallsburg for over 100 years, and we have a lot of history. I'm a small business owner. I own a transportation company called Upstate Detours, and we do focus on economic development through tourism. I live in Woodridge. My feelings align with Brett and Josh, and I do believe that if we don't act, um, now there could be, well, there are potential problems down the line. So, that's when I decided recently to get on board on this writing campaign, because I'm a concerned citizen. And I also believe that between Josh and Brett and I, that we have the ability to get people together and really include everybody. I think it's really important. I know Josh agrees with also our round table idea of having everybody get together and work together to make sure that the development, if it does happen, it's going to happen healthy and sustainable, and really to slow down this kind of progression that we have right now, because it is dangerous for our land, and I want to protect this land because I live here, my home, and it's incredibly important for all of us. So that's my say, Josh.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Josh Druckman, also running as a write-in candidate for Town of Fallsburg Council. I'm a 23-year resident of the Town of Fallsburg. I'm a business owner. I own a business called the Outlier Inn, which is firmly in the Catskill Borscht Belt tradition of tourism. People come from all over the world and stay with me, and it's really important that we preserve the natural beauty of the town of Fallsburg, because I really think that that's the key to long-term economic stability, economic growth. People have been coming up to the Catskills from New York City. You know, for as long as New York City has existed, people have been coming up to the Catskills, and they come up for nature. And more of the nature in the town of Fallsburg is getting destroyed, is getting clear cut. And there's more development. I've watched it progress for the last 23 years, and it's really exploded exponentially since the pandemic. And it's really for that reason, amongst other reasons that Brett mentioned, that we decided to get involved in this race to try and stop this unsustainable growth in the town.
Right. Brett, like, so you basically you're saying that you don't think the zoning laws are meeting the requirements for the town, as far as growth, having smart growth.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in development happening in the town of Fallsburg. I want to see it under control and working in a way that everybody's safe, that we have the resources we need, that the infrastructure is available. These are the type of things I'm interested in. We're not anti-development. We are interested in making sure everybody's safe, that we're protecting this beautiful place that we live and love. And our people that come up here in the summertime to come here love that place too.
Yeah.
As I'm out on the campaign trail, I'm meeting people from all different walks of life that embrace this place for the beauty that it has.
Yeah. But let's talk about finances here. The county just released their preliminary budget, saying there's going to be a 9% increase in property taxes. Town of Fallsburg right now is voted the other day, and the town taxes will rise about 2.14%. I just want to see, what is your thought, or can you describe the current Fallsburg financial health right now?
I mean, I am under the understanding that we've missed a lot of opportunities for grant funding, infrastructure funding, and that needs to change. And part of the plan that we have to change that is we would like to increase what it costs to hook up to town water and sewer and pay for a grant writer to help us make sure we're getting the grants. I think that's a huge part of this solution here, is that rather than putting all of this infrastructure uh, maintenance that we need to do and upgrading on the citizens, we need to get the money that's out there for us, and we've missed it.
Right. So do you think the town is using taxpayers' dollars effectively?
It's, honestly, I'm not involved in that end of
Yeah.
things with the town of Fallsburg, but I would just say, look at how the town of Fallsburg is being run. And, it's unfortunate. I go uh, and I love the people that are working at the town of Fallsburg and I think they're doing their very best. But I go in there and just from a management position, I'm not talking about individual workers here. From a management position, when I go into the town of Fallsburg, it just feels like it's being run in a way that would be acceptable for a very small town. Fallsburg is actually the second largest town in Sullivan County, and I really believe we need a professional town that has a plan, a vision for the future. And I don't smell that. I smell a town that's taking care of disasters one after another rather than having a plan. And, we need a plan and we have one. Actually, if you go to our website at a fallsburgforeverybody.org or a fallsburgforeveryone.org, you can see our plan laid out there.
Right. I want to talk. You mentioned about the town board. In recent weeks, recent days, there's been a lot of infighting with the town board, public infighting with the town board over, let's say, regulations for over last minute resolutions being put in. How would you sort of work with the current board? Let's say you get in and it's some current board members are still there. How would you sort of work with them to sort of get all on the same path and get a working town board together?
Listen, Patricio, my door is always open to work with people. I'm a super open-minded fella, and I'm really interested in working with anybody on the town board. We have big problems, and it is going to take us all working together. And one of Josh's big interests is having a community roundtable where we are bringing all these voices together from our community, developers, summer visitors, local residents, homeowners, business owners in Fallsburg. And we need to hash these issues out and talk about real solutions that take the town and all of its individuals in mind. And, this divisive stuff that's going on is not helpful. Like, we really need to come together. This is sort of an emergency in this town. And it takes everybody putting their guns at the door and like having a good listen and hopefully coming up with something that works for everybody.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the Fallsburg of the future. What is your vision for Fallsburg over the next couple of years, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years?
I mean, first of all, we have a wonderful resource in Fallsburg, and it's like this fantastic place where there's a lot of really wonderful people in it and a beautiful place to come and visit. People come to visit my farm by the hundreds every summer to camp. And during apple picking season, I have thousands of people coming to visit my farm, and people love it here. That is what we need to embrace. We need to embrace our community. We got a wonky community that's like really fantastic. I mean, there's people with amazing stories in Fallsburg, and that's sort of like we need to embrace each other and all work together for something that can be wonderful, And that's a town that's working and takes the residents in mind. And, we make sure that development serves everybody. Our wetlands and our streams and rivers, those are a public resource. Those wetlands, they clean the water that lands in your faucet. All of our water comes from the groundwater. And if we pollute those, that's not going to be here for us anymore. Like, that's a community resource. And our rivers, when they get polluted and the fish die in it, that's a community resource. People are coming from all over the world to fish our beautiful river. And if we kill the fish in it, they're not going to come anymore and there won't be anywhere to swim, So this is something we really have to work on together.
Now, we access to all the candidates towards the end. Come the early voting is happening now, and come November 4th, when folks go to the polls, why should they write you in, you, Dara, and Josh, as the next town supervisor and town board members instead of your opponents like Nate or anybody else?
I would just say, if you're happy with the way the town is running right now, then you should vote for our opponents. And if you think that we need to try something new, a group with a really strong plan that loves their community fully and embraces every corner of it, you should write us in. And I would implore you to reach out to your friends and neighbors and have them do the same. The only way we are going to win is if you reach out to your neighbors in Fallsburg, if you happen to live outside of there, and tell them about our campaign and make sure they write us in. It's so important. And if you live in the town, pick up your neighbor and drive them to the polls. Another thing I would like to add, just look at the way our campaign is running. We've got a full social media crew. We've got signs up. We're doing door knocking. We're doing phone calls. We're doing meet the candidates events. And this is the kind of organization that we're going to bring to our town. And if you can't tell we really want it, you're not looking.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. We're talking to Brett Budde, who is a writing candidate for the town supervisor. He came along with his running mates, Dara and Josh, who are running for the town council, as also as writing candidates. Again, thank you so much for coming in. I do really appreciate it.